Sorry, I didn't know how to work it there. Like this bloody thing. I've been off it that long. How you doing, Mick? You all right, mate?
I'm not bad, mate. How's you?
Good, mate. Aye, well, obviously, you had a big win in America a couple of weeks ago. And tell us about that, mate.
Obviously, Lorenzo was two-way champion, and he wanted to be a three-way champion. To be honest, he just wasn't big enough, was he? So he let his mouth go. Probably done me a favour, because it brought more eyes to the fight, and I smashed him. And anyways, when I've knocked him out, he's fell over and broke his. I don't think he's broke it, but he's damaged the tendons or something in his arm, and I had to stop. But that'll teach him.
I must say, mate, that was satisfying to watch because, but it was one of them where I knew for a fact what was going to happen. Like when he was doing all that talking, I could see. I was thinking if I was Mick, I'd be getting absolutely raging. But I knew you were going to knock him out. But the closer it got, the more he talked it up. I thought he's making a right bed for himself here.
You know what it is? It's like we've done that press conference and we got warned not to kick off because it was the first show in California. And then he's kicking off, and he pushed us in the head, and like, obviously instinct wants to knock him out there and then, but I thought, I'm not going to get paid. We're going to get told off if we make a show. So I had to just try and bite my tongue and then just sort him out on the night.
And what did you like make of it, Mick, out in America? Obviously, you were at a few places where I went. Like, how did you find it all, mate?
LA is a funny place because you can say there's lots of money there, but then there's lots of homeless people as well. So it's honestly, it's hard to watch. You're going through the street and haven't even got socks and shoes. They're just walking through. I was out there with Annie Davison and Mom, and we couldn't help it. The line on the street, just with a blanket over them, no bed, no socks and shoes. So we were just giving them money, and I just thought, like, buy some shoes or something, But probably it's not like, but I couldn't help it. It's just, like, it was hard to watch.
Oh, definitely, mate. I mean, I was looking at the properties when I was out there, like, the real estate agents, and the houses, like, at the one I went to, were like anywhere from 3 million to like 75 million. And then you're going through Skid Row, and it's just like homeless people, like, everywhere, you know what I mean, going through a really hard time.
I don't know, like, because we were that close to Hollywood as well. I don't know if they're like trying to get into Hollywood and maybe some made it the backup plan, but like unreal, like, the amount of homeless people you see there, and it's wasn't a nice sight to see.
We've got someone the saying days are mad. Who did Mick's box for amateur, and how many bouts did he have?
An amateur boxing, I boxed for Lee Graham at Howden. I think I only had three fights amateur.
That wasn't really your background, though, was it? Like, you sort of came from like a Muay Thai background, didn't you?
Yeah, obviously, it was hard actually. I was training with you at the time. It was hard for us actually to even get an amateur boxing fight. I went along to Sunderland. It was actually on Valentine's Day, so my wife wasn't happy. I left that again on the fight on Valentine's Day, and we got there. And what was he called? Gordon something. He was he was one of the amateur top blokes. Like the referee type officials. He wouldn't let us box because he says I was a kickboxer. I would be no good at boxing.
Well, I remember this when you boxed. They said you had to box twice before you could enter the ABAs, and then you ended up boxing. Your first ever fight, there was this lad from Cameroon who left the Gordon Ibbotson. Someone said that might be the right one. To be fair, there was this lad who came from the Olympics from Cameroon, and he stayed in the country, and everybody was hyping him up. And in Mick's first amateur boxing fight, you beat him, didn't you?
I was actually second. My first one was in Hull. It was that Ryan Fuller, I think he was called. He was the super heavyweight. Obviously, I went in as an under 91 kilos and got there. He was 118 kilos, and I beat him as well. So I beat him, and I beat it was called Blaise Mandori, the Cameroon kid. So I beat him, and then I went into the ABAs, the Northern Area Championships. I got beat off Michael Watson, I think he was called. English.
I heard that was a split decision, wasn't it? Like, I wasn't at that one, like, but I heard it was a good fight, mate. But that Michael Watson, I know a trainer called David Binns, who's one of the best trainers in the country, and he used to train Michael Watson as a junior, and said he was an absolutely phenomenal boxer. Like,
I heard he boxed for England and stuff. To be honest, it was a really close fight. I think I'd probably say the first round probably didn't move me head enough, you know. If I'd have done a little bit more work in the first round, maybe I could have won the fight.
So, what's like, you know, like obviously, you sort of, I've had family from down the country ringing up asking what who've been watching your fight, saying, do you know that Mick Terrill and all that? Have you noticed a big change since you've had this success and that with BKFC, mate?
Aye, it's a funny one, you know. Like, I was out in Tenerife having some dinner. Somebody come over and asked for a picture. I was in Newcastle. Maybe I wasn't on the drink either because it was just before my fight. It was after our straighter show. I ended up hiding in the corner, you know, just loads of piss people on you. So really need to take a towel for you, you know, when you're on the drink, because I don't drink that much. And then they're talking that much shit, yeah, really going to wipe your hair clean.
No, mate, well, I seen, I was there like last time. You were getting mobbed, mate. Aye, you were getting mobbed, but it's good to see, mate. You're getting a bit of recognition, what you're deserving, that pal. But aye, you know, like, what's your plans for the next straightener show when you put the next one of them on?
It's going to be the 10th of August, obviously at the Walk at Home. We've got some canny ideas planned for it, you know, some fights that nobody's seen before, especially up here. So I think that's going to be the way forward. We're going to try and have something different every show. I mean, there's lots of boxing shows, lots of MMA shows. I was just trying to mix everything together, you know. So we're going to have bits of bare knuckle, bits of hybrid boxing with the forms, gloves, some Thai boxing, kickboxing, and then other maybe mixed, you know, mix things up as well, fights.
Well, you know what it is, right? I was having a big crack last time and I called out Brett May on here, which I've got out against the kid. I wasn't calling him out. That's why I took this video down a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't calling him out because I don't like him. It's because I'm training again. I wouldn't mind a fight, but I want the hype to be there. I want it to be a big fight against a fight that's someone who's on my level. And, you know, like Brett May is from the same sort of space, this YouTube world that I've sort of dipped my toes in a bit as well. So if he did want to do it on the straightener show, I'd do it. But I've got nothing against the kid and all the best some other than that. You know what I mean? I can't be bothered having a big back and forth like Paul Venice did. Norris,
I've met Brett, obviously down at the BKFC, and to be fair, I thought he's a really nice lad. You know, like I think he's a good kid, but like keeps falling out with people that I know, and like you just stay out with it, you know, because like I like them and I like Brett. You know, I can only take people as I find them. Brett was all right to me, so I'm all right to Brett, and I fell out with Venice. I like Paul Venice, but it's got nothing to do with me what they're falling out with. Hopefully, they make a few quid off it and then set it out.
I've got nothing against Brett. That's why I took it down, because people spin stuff on you. I've given Narum. I've just watched a couple of his videos. I like Paul Venice, but I just think me and Brett would be like a good sort of fight, because we're both in no man's land a bit, because he can't fight in the BKFC, and I would like to get to a bigger fight like that. So if we sort of had a little bout against each other, the winner could get a little bit of credibility and move on to something a bit better. But if not, I'm not bothering all the best to him, you know what I mean? I've got nothing against the kid whatsoever. Someone's asking Mick, can you ask Mick if the BKFC do a drug test for the title fight? Just wondering. Not saying Mick is on anything, just wondering at the top level if they test.
Yeah, we all got tested in California. Strange one, really, stand having a piss, and there's a bloke standing there watching you having a piss. And, a little pecker out and give it a little shake around from you, give him a little show as well.
Obviously, it was a little bit controversial how much size Lorenzo Hunt's packed on, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Before
funny that, because obviously you do all your tests. I mean, I got to California the very second I got off the plane. Had to go and get bloods taken, so they can't take your bloods. But honestly, we drove about 350 miles to different doctors. You had to do like stress tests, physical tests. The doctor come and inspect your body, make sure there's nothing wrong with you. Eye tests, neurological tests. So anyways, you've got to do all that sort of stuff. And once you pass everything, you write the form, you get your license. And as we've been weighed in the morning, because there's actually 2 weigh-ins, we weigh in the morning, and then you have the ceremonial one later on. So you weigh, and then the bloke says, right, you need to do a piss test, for the steroids and stuff. So anyways, I've went and done my test, and Lorenzo went, can I take my dad in with us? Just me and my dad. And I went, no. And he went, what's going to happen? He says, I'm going to watch you have a piss. So he went, nobody's watching me have a piss. And he went, no, they're all. So anyways, he's went off to have his piss. And I don't think he enjoyed getting watched. You know what I mean? But it's one of them, isn't it? If you want paid, someone's going to watch you have a piss, you've got to have a piss.
Well, definitely, mate. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But obviously, I think I need to start eating more fruit, like Lorenzo has.
What did he say? I'm sure he says it was ravioli as well, something like that. Ravioli.
Aye.
Trend ravioli.
I've had plenty ravioli before. So, is it against steroid rules use in the BKFC? Aye, it is, because it was all by the California State Athletic Commission. So combat sports, there's no performance enhancing drugs.
It was exactly the same in Utah, So.
So I seen like after that like the fight of McGregor's bought a stake in the BKFC, and you've met up with McGregor a few times, mate. What did you think of Conor McGregor and all that, Mick?
It's the second time I met Conor at his boy. We got invited down. He took us for a tour of his brewery, and we're sampling all these Irish stout. I'm saying sampling like we had about 4 or 5 pints in there. So there's something at different stages, when it was being made, the beer. And that Irish stout he's got going on, full Irish stout, no chemicals whatsoever. So you can't drink it at any different stage because there's absolutely no chemicals in it. And I think that's what they're saying, people aren't getting hangovers because there's no chemicals whatsoever in the beers and the spirits. And then just looking at the money he spent, that's what the workers were saying. As soon as Conor come in, he spends top dollar. Honestly, it was the cleanest brewery you've probably ever seen in your life. Everything's immaculate, So he spends top dollar to get the best product. And anyways, after that, we went into his bar, and basically it was on the house. Just give away steak dinners and lots of drink, and we ended up getting absolutely bladdered when we were over there. Bumped into John Lewis Dickinson as well. So, had a carry night.
I think you're talking me into having a few drinks of Irish stout, like. Someone here saying, ask Mick if he would fight Bobby K, but Mick has got to be blindfolded. That's pay-per-view. Just joking, Mick, big fan. All right, I don't know who Bobby K is. It's probably some Raji on YouTube or something, to be honest with you. Like, what you call it? So, what did you think of it? Have you seen Conor McGregor's film? And what do you think of his potential comeback, mate?
I've seen the film, It's funny, It's
mate, I tried to watch it last night. I turned it off halfway through, like. I think McGregor had only been in for 5 minutes. I was just like, I normally like that Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor as well. Yeah, but no, I couldn't. I might try and finish it off.
I try to watch it as a comedy, really, more than any. When the kid crashes the boat and he flies 50 meters into a roof and then comes out unscathed, I just had to take it as a comedy.
I watched it just past the bit where somebody was ate off the crocodile or something. But did you see much of McGregor's training, like, or did he tell you much about it? Because obviously, I've seen some photos of Chandler, and he looks in brilliant nick, and it's. I think if we're talking a prime McGregor comes out on top, but he has to be in good nick, doesn't he?
Well, I think Conor's going to be bigger than Chandler for a start. Chandler's always going to be in good nick. At that level, everyone's in good nick. But Conor was actually training that day. He was late coming in because he trains 2 to 3 times a day. So he was training from morning really all the way through night. So Conor's really taking it serious. I've watched Chandler. He likes to come in with these big, heavy low points. Like it's a real low point he throws. And I don't know how he's going to work that with Conor being southpaw. hopefully Conor will take his standing leg as he's doing it, that step through. But I've noticed Chandler's a bit susceptible to uppercuts, and I think if Conor comes in and lands a rear left uppercut, I think it could be good night for Chandler.
I mean, stand-up wise, the league's apart. The only thing Chandler's got going is he's fit and he bangs. He's explosive and he bangs. Like, the pace he keeps going early on is really high. But say, like, if I was Chandler, I would try and just take McGregor to the ground in the first round and then gas him out. But then that'll be asking a question mark about McGregor's stamina, I suppose, won't it? You know what I mean? If he's really that fit.
I mean, what I've seen of Conor's fights in the past, I think, Habib really struggled to keep him down. I think Conor's got really good defensive takedowns, you know. So, and he can get it. He's sort of like, I can remember Chuck Liddell back in the day. They took him down, he just manages to get back up, you know. So, obviously, Conor's local, and I want to see the local lad win. So, hopefully, I mean, will he try and take him down? I don't know if Chandler might have a bit of an ego and want to beat him stood up.
I mean, I definitely think, right, after watching more of, like, after doing a bit more grappling and watching the Khabib fight back, you do appreciate some of, like, the defensive stuff McGregor was doing there. And he even had, like, a few moments of success against Khabib as well, didn't he? You know what I mean? So, and to be fair, that probably wasn't even McGregor's best performance by a long shot. And then when he's at his best, like, striking-wise, when he's in the likes of Eddie Alvarez, some of them fights, he was, like, blistering money.
He's just so accurate, you know, like, he covers the distance well. He punches from range and he's accurate, you know, when he lands, and he lands in the same spot over and over. So he's precise and accurate, you know, and it's hard to do that. I've found that myself, you know, sparring people. I'm not the biggest puncher, but I'll punch in the same spot every time, and I think it annoys people as well, you know.
What you call it there, the Swan and Only says no matter how long Conor's been out of the UFC, he's that good, you always think he has a chance. Well, he is, as long as he's fit, you know what I mean? He's like, he has a chance with anybody at like 155. Did you watch the fight on the weekend, Mick? And what did you think about it, mate?
I haven't even seen it. I was flying. I was coming back from Tenerife as the fight was happening, so I've seen the ninth round. That's all I've seen. Really, I think the fight should have been stopped in the ninth. I don't know. I know they're saying the ropes kept him up, but I think he was gone in my eyes.
I mean, I was watching it, right, and I'll be honest, I was wincing in that ninth round, and it was disappointing because I had Fury well up at that point. After 8 rounds, I think I had Fury winning 5, or maybe even probably 5, and then, like, obviously Usyk had that big round, and I thought, yeah, like, Fury's looked well in control, and now they're like level pegging, you know. And I think I give it by just 1 round to Usyk in the end, like, you know what I mean. But I would have had absolutely no gripes with the referee waving it off there. In fact, when I was watching, I was thinking, come on, you've got to stop this. But some people have made the argument that it was an undisputed title fight. I don't know if you think that's got any relevance.
It's fighter safety. He was out on his feet. You know what I mean? If that fight had been stopped there and then, I don't think anybody could have complained. I've seen fights get waved off for less.
Definitely. I mean, I suppose the only argument is it was for the undisputed. I mean, and like, you could say, if I was a referee, I probably would have stopped it. I understand why Fury was given a count in the end, because the ropes held him up. And that's a rule in boxing, that if the ropes hold you up, it's counted as a knockdown. But then he should have done that 20 seconds before he did it, because I think the ropes held him up about 3 times, you know what I mean?
I think really, if that's the case, they should have let Usyk just continue. Do you know what I mean? If, like you say, he's let it go that long, let Usyk continue, finish his job. I mean, I'm a Fury fan, you know, I wanted Fury to win. But I'm also like a boxing purist as well, and I think that should have been stopped. I mean, Fury done well, come back. I'd
have no complaints with Usyk having his hand raised there, with a stoppage. But I think someone said shouldn't have been stopped, not count. Or I don't know if he means what he means by that there. But I would have had no complaints. But Bungle was telling us about the ropes in the BKFC, that they're not actually ropes. They're like
the metal.
The
metal, but they're logged. You've got to have the metal to keep the round shape. If the ropes would be like a hexagon, you know what I mean? So they've got to be, where they're formed. They're heavy as well. So there's no bounce off the ropes, but like I say, they're well logged. So like I've bounced off them ropes loads of times. I've never had a problem with them. It's no different with cage wall, really, is it? Can
you say anything about your next fight yet, or is that under wraps, or what's the crack with that, man?
There's no news. I'm guessing it's going to be Ben Rothwell, but no news whatsoever. I'm not sure if they're going to make it bigger, like a super heavyweight, because I don't think he'll ever make 265. I mean, this is what he's doing, like he knows he cannot make 265, and then he'll be on press conference. He's saying he's scared of the weight, and I'm saying, no, I'm not scared of the weight. The commission don't let it go over 265. He goes, it's just a number. And I'm saying, well, no problem. I'll go to the middleweight division and say, I'll fight you for your middleweight title, but I'll stay heavyweight. It's just a number. It's like, I'm not scared of him. I'll fight him no problem anytime he wants. It's just we're getting wrong. We're not allowed to come in under 265 because it's against the rule.
I mean, they've got the same rule in the UFC, don't they? With that 265.
I think I'm sure they just think if you're any heavier than that, you're unhealthy. You might have a heart attack. I mean, I think the difference is now the men are getting bigger. I mean, Rothwell's a big man, he's massive. But what can you do if that's the rule? I mean, if they had come to me and say it's heavyweight, any limit, that's you've got no complaints. But when we fought in Utah, the weight cut moved up to 275. I'll come to 270. And I remember I sat there and the Utah commission were going berserk. It's 265, but I said, well, the contract says 275, so there's a big hoo-ha. I thought I was going to have to cut weight, and that was moved up for Ben Rothwell, who never even turned up. He never turned up for the show.
I mean, I understand. See, I didn't realize it was the commissions putting that in place, because I always thought the UFC just put like that 265 weight limit in place, so people didn't show a proper fat out to shape. You know what I mean? At heavyweights. But
that was what I was saying. Like on all the tests what I do before the fight, I had to do a stress test, and basically on a treadmill, and they elevated every 3 minutes and up the speed, and then you've got to make sure you're fit enough. And basically, I think if they think you're over 265, you're not healthy. So I think that's what it is. It's just a health thing,
Well, I mean, looking at Ben Rothwell, what is he, about 6'5" or something?
He's big, guys.
Aye.
I'm 6'3", bigger than me.
Realistically, though, I know he's big, but he could make 265, couldn't he? I would have said. Do you reckon?
No. I'm not saying anything, right? But when we weighed in, we had to weigh in the day before that fight, and I weighed in at 252 pounds. And anyways, that was the day before. That was the doctors to make sure you're not cutting too much weight. I went out and I had a 20-ounce steak. I had I went out for an ice cream thing. I had ice cream waffles. And then on the day of the fight, I purposely done it. I drank 3 litres of water because it's 6-7 pounds, just to try and scare Lorenzo a little bit. I think how heavy I was. And then I weighed in at 249 pounds. So I lost 3 pounds, even though I had a 20-ounce steak. I had the biggest bowl of ice cream you've ever seen. And I had 3 litres of water. And I still had some breakfast, I think. Now I lost 3 pounds.
See, so, I ate well out in America, and I ended up coming back a little bit lighter. I mean,
not overnight, though. Not overnight, though. You know what I mean? When you weigh at 242, and then you have that much volume of food, and then 3 litres of water, I should have been at least 260.
I think out there in like the part of America, well, you would have been in, and I was in, because I was in like Vegas, Utah, California, and Arizona as well, like Nevada, sorry. what you call it. I was in 4 different states, and out there they make a big deal about drinking like alkaline water or something, and electrolytes or something, because apparently you sweat that much, you lose a lot of weight and stuff. I didn't think you feel as hungry when you're out in them places as well, to be honest with you.
I think it's for the heat, isn't it? You can't be pull that heat, mind you. I eat regardless, mate. I eat non-stop. But I think that's what it is. The heat sort of, especially in LA, it's hot, you know. Maybe it's Utah, it's freezing cold there. When we fought in Utah and Salt Lake, it was grass. It was absolutely freezing.
I think it's you know what it is. It's funny because there's all these like different like climates and stuff like that there, and altitudes. Because you said you had like a proper really high altitude, didn't you, in Utah?
Yeah. Whereas LA was just like back home. There was no difference at all there in the altitude. It was just 8 hours at the time. So it was hard because I was knackered. And even though I tried to do it back home, you know, as soon as I went over there and was tired off the plane, my first sleep over there was back in English time. So for the next few nights, I couldn't sleep. At one point, I went to bed 9 o'clock p.m. their time. I woke up 12 in the night time, their time. It was 8 in the morning for us, and that was it. I just sat in my hotel room for 8 hours, you know, waiting for morning, because I was back in the British time after one night's sleep.
It didn't affect me much because at the time I was working. I was finishing about 5 in the morning and getting up about like 1, 2 p.m. So when I was over in America, it didn't affect us a great deal, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so who would your dream fight be then, Mick? And like out of your options right now, there's Mark Hunt. You know, there's a couple of other names out there, and then there's even like a few people's mentioning, they'd like to see you fight like a hybrid fight with Tyson Fury or Usyk or something.
I mean, really, a dream fight would be for me the Mark Hunt. You know, just being a kickboxer as well. I mean, people are talking about Usyk and Fury. I'd love for it to happen, but it's never going to happen, is it? They're making that much money doing what they're doing. They're not going to come and do what I'm doing. I mean, I make good money, but not millions and millions of quid. You know what I mean? So they're going to keep doing what they're doing. So I think realistically, the best fight for me at the minute would be Mark Hunt.
I mean, like, definitely, mate. Like, how would you see that one going? Like with the strengths and weaknesses of Mark Hunt, I reckon that would probably be your hardest fight so far in there, bare knuckles. You reckon?
Well, the Mark Hunt, he's got that much bang in his punches. You know, if he catches you, you're gone. So you've got to be really on your toes a lot. But now he's trying to box on the outside, come in the mid range, get yourself straight back out, certainly a right, keep away from his right hand. I mean, Mark's got good left hooks as well, you know, but he's 51, I think, now. So I would have to capitalise on his age as well, and hopefully he's slower than what he used to be.
I mean, I know he's 51, but I think when he was like 49 or something, a year or two ago, he went in and he fought a kid called, he fought this Australian who was like 15-0 or something, and he just banged him out in the first round, like, in a boxing match.
Champion money.
But like I see, I even think like even someone like, again, he's probably might have made too much money now, but I don't know what his options are like. But Francis Ngannou, someone like that, you know, would be a good fight. So I think you could potentially win that.
Francis Ngannou is, like I say, he's a bigger Mark Hunt, and if he catches, he's going to knock your head off. You've just got to make sure you don't get caught. The problem with the bare knuckle is like anything can drop you, you know what I mean? Especially, like I keep saying to people, it's like I've got a 19-stone man, like 18, 19-stone man who's trained to punch me head off, stand there with no gloves on, punching you. And people are trying to say, oh, it's just the same as boxing, and it's not. They can pull the back of your head down and just keep punching you, which is what Rothwell does. Grabs the back of your head and punches, dirty boxing. And when you've got a 19, Rothwell's probably 20-stone man punching you in the face, holding the back of your head, it messes you up, you know. So it's very different to boxing.
How would you see a potential fight with, like, say, Mike Perry and Darren Till going down? And like what do you think Conor McGregor's plans are for the promotion, mate?
Well, I know Darren Till's already been asked to fight Mike Perry, and by all accords, he knocked it back. He says he needs a boxing fight to warm up. So I can't see that happening. I think Darren Till's got them new pearly whites as well, and he's got some fake teeth in there. When you spend that much money on fake teeth, you don't want them punched out, do you?
Oh, I mean, I seen what happened to Luke Rockwold, because he was like a bit of a he's a good fighter, but he's like a bit of a model. And he was in there with like Mike Perry, and just his teeth were getting mangled and everything, and he just didn't want it. I think
it's like I keep trying to explain. Have you ever punched a brick wall by accident? Let's say if you went to punch something you've missed, and you get that vibration in your hand. That's what it feels like on your face. It's like a hot, horrible vibration every time you get punched. You know, it's like my front teeth. When I fought Arnold Adams, these 3 teeth went numb and they've moved across. So I've got a slight gap in my teeth now. So I'm going to get that. My foot's stuck in it, you know. So I'm going to have to get that fixed. But honestly, it's a painful feeling, you know. Like what's worse is sometimes you get hit with a 5-shot combo. You know what I mean? You hit you with 5 shots. It hurts, you know.
What do you think's next for Mike Perry then, and what's he like there? Because I've seen you sort of met him a few times at the press conferences and stuff, mate.
He's funny, mate. You know, honestly, he's a good laugh actually. I mean, he shadow boxed in my face last time. I was calling him because he had pink all over his thing. He come on, I went, "What you dressed as? What you come as?" Here's what you mean. I says, "You've got pink all the way, so you either want to left hook, right hand." He missed us by millimeters, and I didn't flinch, didn't blink, nothing. I laughed now when you missed, and he just started laughing. But he's a crazy person. He's very intense, but he's a good laugh as well when you get past his exterior shell.
I will. Well, good luck in your next fight, mate, and thanks for popping on for half an hour. I'm going to go down to a bit weights now. Done jiu-jitsu this morning, but hopefully, sorry, mate. One thing slipped my mind is have you done much clinch work then to sort of like adapt to bare knuckle and that, Mick, or not?
You know what it is? As a Thai boxer, I should have loads of clinch work, you know. But I just find it's like, you know, when you get stuck in them clinches, that's when you get your face mangled up, and I don't like my face being mangled up. If I get in a clinch, I'll just try and null it out and then work again, you know. But I'm just not in to get my face smashed up. I mean,
how many fights have you had all together now, Mick?
82, I think. 81 or 82 fights I've had all together.
And you pretty much went pro right from the start, haven't you?
I think I started off with about 5 or 6 amateur Thai boxing and then just turned pro, you know. It's like, I swear to God, I didn't even know I was pro Thai boxing because there was no money in Thai boxing, you know. So I think I'd had about 10 fights, and I had a magazine coming to the gym. They were asking like how many fights I had. He says, "Are you pro?" I says, "No, just amateur." And Barry Norman says, "Make your pro, man." I went, "Oh, we don't get paid." And he started laughing. He went, "Nobody gets paid, Mick." I was like, "All right, maybe he's not pro." So I didn't even know I was pro at the
time. So one person's asking, is your next fight in the UK?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure. I mean, that last fight is just, I don't ask who it is. I don't ask when it is or where it is. I just say the contract and I'll be there. So it's like, I don't even think I knew who it was. They just says, "Will you be ready for?" It was for April. "Will you be ready for April?" I went, "All right, no problem." And then it was about a few weeks later. I went, "Oh, by the way, it's Lorenzo." So I just says, "I'll be ready. I'm there." I think as champion, you cannot ask. You just, whoever they tell you it is, it's that person.
Well, I hope it's in Saudi Arabia, mate, for a big bag of cash. No worries, Mick. I'll catch you later, mate. But cheers for that today, mate. Take care, mate.
Catch you in a bit, mate.
See you later, mate. Right.